Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on orders over $10. From August 18th, 2020 through September 25th, 2020, if you use this promo code, you will automatically be entered into a drawing to win a Zendikar Rising set booster box. Also, there is another way to enter where no purchase is necessary. See the link in the description below for full details. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It is that time of the week again where we count down the 10 hottest cards of the week. We are on the eve of the official Zendikar Rising set release, and there's a lot happening currently in the secondary market. When it comes to our top 10 cards, we look at two pieces of criteria every week. First off, we want to see a pretty big percentage increase in the card's value. Secondly, we want to see an increase in sales, not just an increase in asking price. That's going to help us filter out some of that market manipulation that has been going on. Quickly before we get into it though, just a fast reminder, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, they do have pre-orders for Commander Legends products. After using the Heroes promo code, the price of a draft booster box goes down to $121.50 and a collector booster box goes down to $220.95. I thought those were pretty good prices from what I've been seeing shopping around, and I just wanted to pass those off to you. Also, shipping is free in the United States for orders over $100, so that would qualify for these. On top of that, whenever you use the promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated, so thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Flooded Shoreline, up $1.44 to $3.99 for a 56% increase this week. This is on the reserve list, and we know there's been a lot of reserve list buyouts recently, and there's also been a lot of panic buys that occurred after those big buyouts began to happen. Cards like this that are a little cheaper might fall under that category. Now, there's another reason this is moving up too. This actually does play well with landfall mechanics and landfall support, and obviously there's a lot of that in Zendikar Rising. Currently, this does see a little commander play as well. Number 9 is Omnith Locus of the Royal. It goes up $1.57 to $6.95 for a 29% increase, and that's pretty impressive considering this is a card that is rotating out of Standard currently. Now, this has always been a very popular commander, but now, going forward, it's going to see even more play in Commander because of Zendikar Rising, bringing us a lot of cards that play well with this. Most notably, Omnith Locus of Creation. There's going to be a lot of players building that Commander deck, and this fits perfectly in there. Also, this does currently see a little modern play in 5-color Elementals. Number 8 is another reserve list card. It is Rashida Scalabane, going up $270 to $376 for a 256% increase this week. This currently does see a little commander play, but for the most part it's going up in value because it is drying up in the marketplace online this week. Number 7 is Recross the Paths. It goes up $324 to $453 for a 252% increase if you're doing the math at home. This is a Morningtide card that was never reprinted, and this comes from the time period of Magic where there was a recession in the game and less packs were being cracked, which of course leads to these cards getting a little bit spiky at times when there's attention on them. Usually it's rares, but it can be uncommons as well. So what is the catalyst for this card moving up right now? Again, it is Zendikar Rising. In particular, it's the double-sided cards, the ones that have lands on one side and spells on the other side. Turns out those are really good in Goblin Charbelcher builds, and there are some legacy players thinking about working those cards into their current builds. Also, there's a modern Charbelcher build that's starting to circulate around now too. Number 6 is Elder Gargaratha, $5.29 to $22 for a 32% increase, and Standard is still in a really weird place right now. Most players can't sit down and play Paper Standard. However, with rotation just occurring, a lot of players are a little more comfortable picking up some of the key cards that they feel could be viable all the way up through next year. This is definitely one of those cards, and it is continuing to see play already in this early Zendikar Rising Standard. You'll find this in adventure decks, a lot of ramp decks, including Omnith Ramp, and that deck looked very powerful last weekend during this pre-release time period. As a matter of fact, Wizards is already teasing the fact that there's going to be a banning very soon that is going to hit that deck. I don't think it's going to be this card, and I don't think initially it's going to be anything from Zendikar Rising. They tend not to do that because they do want to sell packs. So they might put off trying to ban things like Omnith Locus of Creation or Lotus Cobra, and maybe try to hit something like Uro instead. We'll know soon enough, I'm sure. Additionally, though, in conjunction with the decks I already mentioned, I could see this card showing up in a number of different standard sideboards, depending on where metas go in the future. Beyond that, this card is also seeing play in other formats, Pioneer, Modern, and Commander. Number 5 is Lord Tressorhorn, another card on the reserve list. Does see some commander play, sometimes as a commander. It goes up 543 this week to 925 for a 142% increase. Number 4 is Predatory Night Stalker. This is from Portal Second Age. It's yet to be reprinted. It goes up 571 this week to 1495 for a 62% increase. Now, this doesn't see a ton of play right now in Commander or anything like that, but it does feel like because it is one of those cards that is getting harder and harder to find in good condition, there are some players thinking about picking it up before the price gets even higher. This could be the beginning of a targeted buyout. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Number 3 is another reserve list card that's been very hot recently, Mana Web. It goes up 996 to 3495 for a 40% increase, and this does see some commander play in various builds. Number 2, Flagstones of Trocaire. Time Spiral up 998 to 1569 this week for a 175% increase. Ultimate Masters up 1049 to 1546. That is a 211% increase. So you look at this card and you think, okay, it's moving up because of Zendikar Rising. The set has a lot of landfall support in it. This card could work well with many of those cards, and that could partially be true. But there's another reason that this card is moving as much as it is right now. In Modern, there's a Selesnya Titan deck that's actually doing really well, and there's a lot of players thinking about building this deck, at least for the future, if they can't sit down and play in paper right now. And they do want to pick up a card like this before it gets even more expensive. Beyond that, we're starting to see a Bant version of that deck show up in Legacy, and also remember, this card does already see some Legacy play many times in Death and Taxes. Number 1, you know him, you love him, it is Baron Sengir. This goes up 1951 to 3244 for a 151% increase. This is on the reserve list. It does see a little commander play, but I think for the most part, this began to move because of nostalgia more than anything. Then in the last week or two, it began to feel more like a targeted buyout. Remember though, Commander Legends did show us a few cards already for the upcoming set, and one of them is a new Baron Sengir. It's called Sengir the Dark Baron. Alright, that does it for the top 10 hottest cards of the week. We're going to be back next weekend with our regular episode of the Market Watch, where we talk about everything that's happening in the secondary market. Until then though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.